Hello everyone! Welcome back to Phantom of the Twilight. Today I will be finishing the game with Charlie's route. Earlier I already played through the earlier initial choices from chapter 1 till chapter 6, I believe. So now I already have a save file on his route. So yeah, we can just hop right in. Let me just set things up real quick and... okay, we can start. A few days had passed. The rumor that a possible serial killer had escaped the holding cell rapidly spread through the entirety of London. Furthermore, the story of how the young lady of the Linders caused a scene at the police station spread with it, so I had to lay low for a while. Aaron was, in his own way, getting used to the fact that he had become a vampire, and Harvey was getting his much-needed rest to recover.
아가씨? 아가씨.
Still the CG. Oh, hi! Welcome. The sunlight peeking through the thin curtains, the soft, uncomfortable sheets, and the sound of birds gleefully singing. I had been gloomy from the cloudy weather for a while, so I was happy with this fresh morning air. However, even on days like these, there is someone who disturbs my slumber.
예정된 시간에서 벌써 3시간이나 지났습니다.
The strictly punctual butler of the Linder estate always disapproved of me sleeping in like this. Wait, but 3 hours?
아가씨?
For a moment, I thought perhaps I heard it wrong, and then I instantly opened my eyes. Did you say 3 hours? Before me was Charlie, who was making the sweetest smile. Behind him, the clock on the wall was indeed pointing to the time 3 hours later than the plan.
네, 3시간이라고 했습니다.
He looks so nonchalant.
직접 시계를 보셨으니 시각을 확인하셨겠네요.
Wait, this is a little unfair. Why didn't you wake me earlier?
아가씨가 굉장히 행복한 표정으로 주무시기에 아까워서요. 내내 얼굴을 관찰하고 있었는데 벌써
That's
시간이
crazy.
몇 분에 흘러버렸네요.
Charlie smiled, his silver tongue making me swoon first thing in the morning. I could feel myself blushing, so I looked away in an attempt to hide. Hi, welcome, Xiang! I know I'm irresistible, but still.
스스로를 잘 알고 계시니 제가 더 이상 할 말이 없군요. 그나마 3시간도 짧은 편이었는데 오늘은 시찰하러 가는 날이라 어쩔 수 없이 깨운 겁니다.
Nah, I have to go out today.
오늘도 안 와서 이렇게 드릴까요? 원하신다면 목욕도 도와드리고 옷도 갈아입히고 머리도 빗겨드릴 수 있고.
No, I'm fine. I'm getting up.
저런 혼자서 다 하실 정도로 아가씨가 벌써 다 큰 건가요? 정말 아쉽네요.
I hurried out of the bed, worried that Charlie might hold me up like a child. Normally, I would respond in a jokingly manner. However, he sounded oddly serious today. Why is he acting so sweet all of a sudden? I wasn't sure if I was surprised or if I was expecting something, but my heart was pounding, and I was trying my best to calm it down. I walked towards the bathtub, where the warm water should have been prepared. I finished getting ready and was about to leave the mansion when I ran into Aaron, who was leaving his room.
어디 가십니까?
I'm supposed to oversee the town today. He looked in better health than the first day he stayed at the mansion. I guess it's probably because he realized the fact.
그런데 제가 궁금한 게 하나 있습니다만 당신은 메리 체프먼의 피를 마시던 기억이 나서 그녀를 죽였다고 생각하고 있는 모양인데 애당초 그들의 사이는 다수의 자상에 의한 과다출혈 아니던가요? 담당 형사였으니 그들의 해부 자료 또한 받아서 봤을 것 같은데요.
과다출혈이라고 되어 있었지만 장담은 할 수 없는 겁니다. 피를 흘렸지만 숨이 붙어 있었을 때 제가 그녀를 제때 구하지 못했기에 그렇게 됐을지도 모르는 일이니까요.
그럼 그 시체나 현장의 피를 전부 마신 건가요? 기억은 나나요?
그건 아닌 듯 했습니다. 현장에는 과다출혈이라고 설명이 될 만큼 다량의 피가 남아 있었으니까요. 하지만 제가 마신 건 맞습니다. 세 번째 사건이 일어났을 때 저는 그 근처에 있었고 우연히 현장을 발견했습니다. 그때까지만 해도 정신은 멀쩡했고 서에 남은 동료에게 연락하려고 했지만 어느 순간부터 기억이 사라졌고요.
그 시점에는 본인이 아직 뱀파이어라는 사실을 자각하지 못했던 거네요.
그렇습니다. 하지만 네 번째 사건 때 그날의 기억이 되살아났고 그 여자의 피를 마셨던 것이 떠올랐습니다. 그 쓰고도 떫은 맛이 아직도 생생한데.
잠깐, 뭐라고요?
Harvey quickly interjected and Charlie spoke with a curious expression.
당신이 뱀파이어라면 살아있는 인간의 피가 그 어떤 음식보다 맛있었을 텐데요. 썩 맛이 없었다는 건 이미 심장에서 피가 나온 지 시간이 좀 지나서 신선도가 떨어진 거네요. 아, 물론 신선도가 살짝 떨어진다고 맛이 크게 변하는 건 아닙니다. 다만 그렇게나 쓰고 떫었던 건 메리가 숨을 거둘 때의 상황이 썩 좋지 않았다는 것일 테죠. 불쌍하게도.
What are you talking about? I couldn't understand the flow of the conversation, and Charlie answered with a mysterious grin on his face.
제가 아가씨의 피를 마실 때 아가씨는 기분이 어떻죠?
Huh? Why would you ask such a thing?
말 안 해도 알고 있습니다. 아픈 건 둘째치고 행복하고 때로는 즐겁고 짜릿하죠.
Well, you could say that.
뱀파이어가 피를 마시는 상대에게 쾌락을 느끼게 해주는 건 그래서인 겁니다. 그 사람이 행복하지 않으면 최상급의 피를 마실 수 없거든요.
Is that so?
그런 겁니다.
아무튼 그렇다는 건 아론이 피를 마실 시점에 메리는 이미 죽어 있었을 가능성이 크겠네요. 게다가 나도 자상으로 인한 과다출혈이 그녀에게 더 크게 작용했을 거라고 봐요. 그리고 아론은 세 번째 사건에 대해서만 기억이 있을 뿐이지 그 전의 사건들과는 아직까지 이런 연관성이 없잖아요. 백보 양보해서 정말로 당신이 메리의 피를 마셨을 수는 있어도 진범 따로 있다고 생각해요.
정말로 그럴까요?
Yeah, that's why I brought you here.
이제 다음 플랜은 정해졌군요.
Charlie, with his signature relaxed smile, continued.
진범을 찾아야겠죠?
The three of us, including myself, were in agreement to the sentiment. However, we had made no progress thus far. Hence, I understood why Aaron was feeling a bit antsy, tired of waiting. As long as the real culprit is still out there, that person could very well be walking the streets of London among the innocents. I'll go see how the general atmosphere is, on top of chatting with some people. I know you're tired of staying indoors, but please endure it for a few more days.
강제로 여기 데려다 놓은 건 당신이면서 저희 보고 나가는 겁니까?
I mean, if you wanna come. If you put it like that, I don't know what to say. It was obvious that he wanted to come with me, but given the circumstances, he didn't push the subject.
한번 해본 말입니다. 무사히 잘 다녀오시게.
Poor baby. I'm sorry. I'll be back soon.
사과는 하지 않으셔도 됩니다. 어쩔 수 없다는 것 정도는 저도 알고 있으니. 아니면 사람들이 거의 다니지 않는 밤에라도 잠깐.
At night?
아가씨, 가실까요? 시간이 늦었습니다.
Smoothly cutting into our conversation, Charlie gracefully held his hand out. I held his hand and nodded, almost in an automated response kind of way. Alright, okay. Happy New Year to you too! Leaving the disappointed Aaron behind, I stepped outside with Charlie. I crossed the garden and was about to step out the gates when I ran into Harvey, who was standing nearby.
아가씨, 어디 가려는 길인가요?
You're outside as well, Harvey. I'm supposed to oversee the town today.
그럼 같이 갈래요? 나도 마침 대학에 가야 할 일이 있어서요.
Oh, now you guys are throwing yourself at me. Oh, is that so? Do you feel okay to move around now?
언제까지고 누워 있을 수만은 없죠. 그리고 저 늙은이 옆에 있어서인지 많이 회복되기도 했어요.
제 도움을 받은 것 치고는 상당히 예의가 없는 호칭입니다만.
최근 강의를 많이 쉬었더니 계속해서 학교 측으로 문의가 오고 있는 모양이에요. 아무래도 사회 이론으로서 제가 맡은 도리는 다 해야겠죠.
It makes sense. You were a great educator, Harvey. I've never attended school, but I've gone through a lot of tutors and was educated on many different subjects. However, your lecture was the most interesting psychology lecture I've taken, and it was highly informative as well. May I attend another one of your lectures in the future?
언제든지요. 그때 말했잖아요. 배움을 원하는 자는 환영이라고요. 아, 괜찮으면 잠시만 기다려줄래요? 학교에 가져갈 자료를 방에 깜빡하고 놔두고 왔네요.
아가씨, 시간이 지체되고 있습니다.
He's taking us away from everyone.
슬슬 길을 재촉하시는 게 어떤가요?
정말 잠깐이면 돼요.
I wanna wait. Ask Charlie for his understanding. I wanted to wait, but Charlie looked quite discontent for a while, so I decided to ask for his understanding. I know we're running late, but could we wait a bit and leave with him? We'll be parting ways soon anyway, since he's off to King's College.
생각해보니 그렇네요. 어차피 금방 보내버릴 자인데 어른인 제가 째째하게 굴 수는 없겠군요.
어감이 좀 이상한 것 같은데요.
Charlie didn't seem happy about the situation, but he smiled, as if he was trying to move on. Harvey came back out of the mansion and we all made our way to Laker Street. Laker Street was busy as always, and I made light conversation with the people around me as I looked around the area. Ah, my lady! I assume you're out to oversee the town today? Yes, good afternoon. How are things these days? Same old, same old. I'm getting by. Contact the Linders if you are ever in need of help, alright? Of course, we're always grateful for your generosity, my lady. Welcome, my lady. We just got in some high-quality fabric. Would you like to take a look at it? Perhaps another time. I appreciate the offer, though.
아, 아가씨, 잠깐 시간 괜찮으신가요?
We know he's important because he's voiced.
저번에 부탁하셨던 기펜이 드디어 얼마 전에 도착했거든요.
Happy New Year to you too, and bye-bye. Sweet of you to join just to say that. Ah, Mason! Yes, could I take a look at it now? I was looking at a famous artisan's quill, which I had acquired from an elderly trader when...
그나저나 결혼 소식은 언제쯤 들려주시는 거지요?
I swear it's like always Asian cultures where like the most random ass person can just come up to you and ask when you're going to get married. Oh, I feel this.
다들 레이카가에서 축제가 열리기만을 손꼽아 기다리고 있는데
Get what?
이젠 나이가 꽉 차지 않았습니까?
It's crazy.
아버님도 걱정이 많으실 텐데요.
It's always the old people too who's asking when you're getting married. He was a well-established merchant back in the area, who also had connections with the current earl, which led him to occasionally ask very direct questions. I'm not sure. It's so difficult to talk about this subject.
이 신랑으로는
Oh my god.
찰리 괜찮지 않나요?
Charlie?
귀족 출신은 아니지만 오랫동안 린델가를 섬기지 않았습니까? 백장님도 그를 꽤 마음에 들어하신다는
That's
소문이
crazy. Getting married to Charlie? We've practically been partners all this time. Perhaps the actual thing might not be so bad? Since Charlie knew everything about my personality, my habits, and more, marrying him didn't sound like a bad idea. Not to mention, I also thought I knew enough about him. We might be able to live together in harmony until the day I die. That sounds nice. Bro, chill. He's like right there. If I do get married, I'll invite everyone to the wedding. You should all enjoy a glass of wine there.
소식 기대하지요.
Rule number 1 is to not make promises because then the old people will start asking, so you said you're going to get married? Like last time we met, when is that happening? Blah blah blah. This is already wrong from the start. Shit it bad. I paid for the quill and left the store to see Charlie standing outside, looking satisfied.
아, 저희 결혼하는 거였나요?
No, not actually. I was just making conversation. He kept on, excited, completely ignoring my reply.
일정을 잡아놓아야겠네요. 갑작스럽게 듣게 된지라 하나도 준비가 되어 있지 않지만 어떻게든 되겠죠.
That's kind of funny though. I kind of like him.
할 일이 많아지겠군요. 지금의 린델 저택도 좋지만 이왕이면 신혼집이 따로 있으면 좋겠는데.
Dude, chill.
결혼식은 아가씨가 항상 말씀하시던 대로 언덕 위에 있는 하얀 벽들의 교회에서 할 수 있는지 물어보겠습니다. 아, 결혼 반지도 필요하겠네요.
He's so excited. I don't even know if he's teasing right now or like just actually excited.
역시 백 작가의 위상에 걸맞게 화려한 다이아몬드가 박힌 것이 좋겠죠?
Charlie? This is getting very specific. I was trying to find the right time to interject when Charlie took my hand and kissed it. CG?
제일
No.
중요한 것을 잊을 뻔했군요. 당신에게 프로포즈를 해야겠네요.
Okay, he's definitely teasing, right? From the tone.
거기서부터 시작이겠죠?
Did Charlie just call me by my name and not my lady?
어떤 걸 먼저 해드릴까요? 아가씨가 원하시는 걸 말해보세요.
Wait, actually, we're playing into the... Okay. Since he was being unexpectedly enthusiastic about it, I thought I might play along. After all, we were just fantasizing about things, and it wouldn't hurt to talk about what I wanted. This is gonna lead to a series of misunderstandings. I see. Sounds fun. I like the idea of having the ceremony in a white brick chapel, and I also like the wedding ring with the fancy diamond. The proposal... How about you write a letter containing your affection for me?
편지요? 러브레터라니 아가씨도 꽤 취향이 클래식하시군요.
It's quite romantic, is it not?
제가 생각했던 것보다는 훨씬 소박하고 담백해서 놀랐습니다만 그게 아가씨가 원하시는 것이라면 전 뭐든 해줄 수 있어요.
Charlie called me by my name again, and I could feel my face about to burst from the intense heat. Stop it! The only thing I could do in that situation was awkwardly avoid eye contact. I used to feel this kind of fluttering caused by Charlie from time to time, but it's become more frequent recently. Why? I tried to think back on how I came to react this way with him, but I wasn't sure at all. After doing a lap around Laker Street, we stopped by a Moore's to take a break. The blueberry scone paired with the fragrant Earl Grey tea was fantastic, and each bite made me happier.
스콘은 좀 어때요? 맛있나요?
Yes, I thought I might not get to enjoy tea time today, but luckily I came here at the right time.
아가씨라면 언제든지 환영이죠.
Felix, with a pleased smile, looked around the cafe for a moment and lowered his voice.
그런데 아가씨 괜찮으세요?
In what regards?
요 며칠 뒤숭숭했잖아요.
Because of the murders? If only someone wasn't going around murdering people.
연쇄 살인 사건의 용의자라고 자수한 아론 베일리가 경찰서에서 탈옥했을 때 아가씨도 그 자리에 계셨다면서요. 큰 일은 없었어요?
Ah, yes, I'm quite alright. A couple detectives from the station visited and asked me some questions, but nothing happened outside of that.
그렇군요. 아무쪼록 조심하세요. 사람을 몇 명이나 잔인하게 죽인 살인마가 레이커가를 아직 돌아다니고 있는 걸지도 모르잖아요.
Yeah, I appreciate your concern. Felix was probably worried about me after hearing some rumors that were going around the cafe. However, it made me feel guilty, as Felix didn't know the truth of the event, so I wanted to wrap up the story as soon as I could.
그나저나 다음 달 납품할 디저트 중에서요. 어서 오세요.
Hi, Felix. The blueberry scones are available, right? I'll take 2, please.
네, 잠시만 기다려 주세요.
Felix started wrapping the scones behind the counter, and the woman noticed me and Charlie sitting on the table. Oh, it's Lady Vera, isn't it? Hello. Seems like you were taking a break here. Anyway, I heard the story. Huh? What story? I heard you were getting married to Charlie soon. Congratulations. Huh? I was tilting my head out of confusion when... Oh, poor Felix.
결혼한다고요?
Poor Felix, no.
누가요?
Poor baby. Felix, who was stepping out from behind the counter, dropped all the scones on the ground and was blankly staring at me. Haven't you heard, Felix? Lady Vera is getting married to Charlie. Mason was quite excited, saying how he would be able to drink wine at the Linder estate soon. Are the rumors already spreading? See, this is exactly why you don't say anything when someone tells you when are you getting married. This is exactly why. Well, it's not a confirmed thing. Out of habit, I was about to deny it, but I glanced over at Charlie. It would kill the fun if I were to deny it here, and if I told people I was planning to get married, no one would badger me about marriage for a while. Not a bad strategy, honestly. With that thought, I quickly changed my response to nodding and awkwardly confirming the rumors. Oh, come on. But that is the plan. Thank you for congratulating us. Felix, who was still standing still, barely opened his mouth to start muttering under his breath.
말도 안 돼.
Felix, I know this is very sudden, but...
아가씨가 고작 집사랑 결혼하겠다고요?
That's so rude.
고작이라니? 단어 선택이 좀 무례하십니다.
Not that Charlie has anything to say about it considering he's also rude.
제가 아가씨와 결혼하면 안 되는 이유는 뭐죠?
어떻게 그런 어떻게
Felix? Actually, his shock seemed quite severe. Worried, I tried to talk to him, but...
아니요, 아가씨. 지금은 아무 말도 듣고 싶지 않아요. 제가 너무 지금 당황해서. 괜찮으니까 걱정하지 마세요. 저는 바람 좀 쐬고 올게요. 그게 좋겠어요.
Felix. Looking excessively confused, Felix left the store before I could stop him. That night, after returning home, I stepped out to the balcony after finishing some paperwork, only to find that someone was already out there. Ah, Aaron, I didn't know you were here.
마을엔 잘 다녀왔습니까?
It was decent. Fortunately, the rumors concerning you have died down quite a bit. Although Felix still seemed to be very concerned.
그건 다행이네요.
I'm sorry. It must be frustrating to stay indoors all day.
아닙니다. 어차피 아무 준비 없이 나가고 싶다고 해서 나갔다가는 쉽게 발목을 잡혔을 겁니다.
He closed the book he was reading and got up from the chair.
그래도 그렇게까지 지루하지는 않습니다. 이곳에는 확실히 당신이 자랑했던 대로 제가 아직 읽어보지 못한 책이 많아서요.
Right? Feeling proud, I smiled, and he chuckled softly. I wish there was something that could lift his spirits, even just a little. Oh, could you wait here for just a minute? Having come up with a good idea, I left the balcony and came back with a small gift.
이건 그때 마셨던 와인이군요.
Correct? You haven't had proper food at the mansion ever since your awakening, haven't you?
먹어보려고 했지만 맛이 없었습니다. 정확하게는 전부 쓰고 떨고 괴상해서 먹을 수가 없었고요.
Vampires can't taste most foods, but there is one thing they can enjoy. Can you guess what that is? I skillfully opened the bottle of wine with the opener while talking. It's this wine. I poured a glass of wine to Aaron, who awkwardly took the glass I handed him as he came to a realization.
그래서 그때 그렇게 와인이 맛있게 느껴졌던 거군요.
Right, so let us cheers. You were a human before, so being able to taste something must be very special to you now.
고맙습니다.
Aaron and I looked each other in the eye, lightly clinked our glasses, and smiled. The next morning.
아가씨, 슬슬 일어나셔야죠.
My head hurts. Just 5 more minutes.
어제도 와인을 꽤 들이부으시더군요. 자업자득일 텐데요.
You're not wrong, but time flew by while talking to Aaron. I didn't know, but he can be quite fun. Apparently he ran into a person who was running with a bloody knife on the streets, knocked him out, and arrested him only to find out that he was a robber and a murderer. So he was awarded with the Medal of Honor by the City of London. Isn't that ridiculous?
운이 나쁜 건지 좋은 건지 모르겠군요.
Right? Anyways, that's why I ended up drinking a few bottles of wine, and a few bottles? That's crazy. I'm just going to get a bit more sleep.
그래서 어젯밤 이제 막 늘어든 새끼 뱀파이어와 그
Baby
비싼
vampire.
와인을 까셨다고요?
Huh? Was that an expensive wine? I just took the first one I saw.
아가씨야말로 운이 참 좋으신 편인가 보네요. 눈에 뵈는 걸 그대로 막 집어도 최상급의 물건을 가져가신다니 말이죠.
I guess so. No wonder it tasted really nice.
그렇겠죠. 축하할 날이 있을 때 아가씨와 마시려고 제가 특별히 아껴둔 것이니까요.
Well, now I feel bad, even though I didn't do shit. I was going to give a short answer and shove my head back in my pillow, but I could feel an ominous aura coming from Charlie standing behind me. As I was retracing his words, I realized I made quite a big mistake. I smiled awkwardly as I turned my head to face him. I want to do this so bad, but he doesn't like this, so we're saving it for later. Well, I didn't know that, But still, Charlie, we can always drink the best wine together, just the two of us. We can, and we will. So, even without a special occasion, why don't we two drink together soon? Charlie quietly sighed and shook his head as he heard my sincere words of apology.
이러니까 제가 아가씨한테 엄하게 하진 못하는 겁니다. 눈치가 빠르니 듣고 싶은 말을 먼저 해버리시니까요.
I learned it from you, Charlie. He continued with a disgruntled expression.
이제 와서 사과를 받아봤자 아무 의미 없겠죠. 그 와인은 이미 그 어린 놈의 목숨으로 전부 넘어가 사라진 뒤니까.
He's so jealous.
혈관을 잘라서 피를 짜낸다고 해도 와인은 어차피 다시 회수할 수 없을 테고요.
Don't you think that's a bit too far? I was thinking of ways to make Charlie feel better when someone knocked on my bedroom door.
아가씨, 혹시 일어났나요?
Is Charlie's route just going to be him jealous all the time? Because that's hilarious, and I am desperate for that actually. Harvey, what brings you here? I got up to open the door since he came all the way here, but Charlie grabbed my wrist and shook his head.
그 차림으로 외간 남자와 얼굴을 마주하시려는 건 아니겠죠?
It's fine. Huh? But he came all the way to my room.
그럴 수는 없습니다.
He forced me into bed, put the quilt over the top of my head, and opened the door.
아가씨는 아직 주무시는 중이니 돌아가시죠.
그래요? 조금 전까지 말소리가 들리는 것 같았는데요.
그건 당신의 착각이고 환청입니다. 이 방에는 얼씬도 하지 마세요. 일이 있으면 아가씨가 알아서 찾아갈 테니 게스트룸에 그냥 짱 박혀 계시죠.
So mean.
찰리, 당신이 린델과의 집사인 건 알겠지만 다짜고짜 이건 무례한 것 같은데요. 난 심심해서 여길 찾아온 게 아니에요. 중요한 할 말이 있어서.
Something important? Hearing Harvey's words, I got up from the bed and interjected. And Harvey and I saw each other through the gap in the doorway.
그래요. 그러니까
말했을 텐데요. 이따가 하라고.
Charlie was about to end the conversation and close the door as Harvey started speaking after a brief moment of thought.
이제까지 아가씨를 키워온 건 알고 있지만 언제까지 당신의 세상에 가둬둘 생각이죠? 어설픈 질투는 보기 흉하니 위치를 제대로 정하는 게 좋을 거예요. 그렇지 않으면 가장 상처받는 건 다름 아닌 당신의 아가씨일 테니까요.
Harvey? I couldn't understand why they were having that sort of conversation, but I was certain that there was some unknown tension between the two.
분수에 맞지 않는 충고 잘 새겨 듣도록 하죠.
With the cold reply, Charlie immediately closed the door. And I heard the sound of him locking the door, which was a rare sound to hear in the Linder mansion. Charlie, why did you lock the door? I have to get ready and leave anyway.
아니요. 그러실 필요 없습니다.
He turned to face me with his familiar relaxed smile.
건방지긴 하지만 합의의 충고를 받아들여 보기로 했습니다.
What do you mean? Shock. The moment he called me by my name with a voice sweeter than any dessert in existence. Couldn't help but twitch and stop talking.
이참에 제대로 가르쳐드리죠. 제가 당신에게 어떤 위치의 존재인지 말입니다.
The thing that bothers me the most in this is that Charlie has raised us from childhood all the way to adulthood. While he doesn't seem to exhibit symptoms of grooming us, it's still to me.
그리고 당신이 저한테 어떤 위치인지도요.
I had a bad feeling that this day was going to be excruciatingly long. At first, what is this? I got up, showered, and had a light breakfast. The door, which I thought was going to stay shut, opened without a problem, and I went to the study to work, like always. After a while, it became 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It was tea time, and Charlie enjoyed his glass of wine like always, while I had a small piece of cake with some Darjeeling tea. The weather was nice and cool, the tea he made was neat, and Felix's cake tastes as great as always. However, one question remained stuck in my mind. Why isn't he doing anything? When Harvey stopped by my room this morning and Charlie locked the door, I thought something would happen. She has a dirty mind. I thought maybe he wanted to drink blood, but that wasn't it. Despite the fact that he was by my side since the moment I was born, I couldn't tell what he was thinking right now.
제 얼굴이 곧 뚫어지겠군요.
Huh?
할 말이 있다면 그냥 하세요. 아가씨답지 않게 뭘 그렇게 꿈을 대시는 건지.
He called me by my name earlier, and now he's back to calling me my lady. I couldn't understand his ever-changing whims. Should I really ask? At this point, I didn't think he was going to answer if I asked what he was thinking. So I decided to take a more direct approach. Charlie, are you jealous?
제가 그럴 리가 있겠습니까? 아가씨는 어차피 제 것인데. 질투라는 감정은 아주 별 볼 일 없고
He's
소박하지
absolutely
않나요?
jealous, isn't he?
우리가 쌓아온 인연에 비하면요.
That's true, but your face is telling me otherwise. He was smiling, but the corners of his lips were faintly twitching. It seemed as though I was right. Charlie,
차가 식겠습니다. 어서 드시고 마저 업무를 끝내셔야죠.
Okay. He was obviously uncomfortable with the subject, so I decided to let it go for now. I finished the day's work without much fuss and returned to my room feeling antsy. I knew I would have trouble sleeping without having a proper conversation with Charlie, so I headed out to the balcony. Even while I'm on my way to the balcony, he's preventing me from running into other people. He was clearly acting different from the day before, but he wasn't explaining why. I was looking up with a heavy heart and realized that it was almost the night of the full moon. Charlie just stood behind me, silently. Charlie, don't you want to drink blood? It's almost full moon.
지금은 별로 마시고 싶지 않군요.
What? But you haven't drunk in a while. Aren't you quite hungry? Charlie didn't say anything. If this is the case, here goes nothing. I felt so impatient, so I turned to face him and unbuttoned my clothes. He quietly came closer and covered up my exposed shoulder again.
날이 차니 제대로 옷을 입으세요, 아가씨.
I was about to reveal my shoulder again, but this time Charlie grabbed my wrist. I struggled and tried to free my arm, but of course he didn't budge at all. The only thing I could do was express my sorrow with a loud voice and teary eyes. Charlie!
왜 부르시죠?
Why are you rejecting my blood? Do you not need it anymore? You said this morning that you were going to teach me what you meant to me. Is this your answer? Are you trying to tell me that I'm replaceable since I'm just another lender who's destined to give you their blood? Is that it?
왜 그렇게 생각하시죠?
Then why aren't you drinking my blood? I'm the only one who can give you blood. That's what I'm supposed to mean to you. Even the thought of him not needing me made my chest hurt. I didn't want to cry, but as soon as I was done speaking, my vision blurred.
그래서 당신은 언제까지고 저를 휘두를 수밖에 없는 겁니다.
Through my foggy eyes, I could see Charlie looking down and muttering something under his breath. One.
하비는 아마 알고 있었겠죠. 심리학을 배워서 그런지 눈치는 빠르더군요. 제가 당신에게 어떤 감정을 품고
That's
있는지.
fast. Like a really fast confession compared to the other routes.
사실은 아무데도 가지 못하게 당신을 가둬놓고 아무도 손댈 수 없게 만들고 싶었습니다.
Okay, Toma from Amnesia. Chill.
그렇게 아무도 보지 않는 곳에서 이 저주받은 송곳니를 마음껏 드러내고 그 모든 피를 전부 탐하고 싶은 이 욕망까지도요. 설사 그로 인해 당신의 목숨이 사라진다 해도
Dude is crazy.
그것이 나로 인한 결말이었다면 기뻐했을 겁니다.
Am I supposed to swoon at that? He said he'd be fine killing us. That's fucked up.
제가 온전히 당신을 가졌다는 증거.
Fuck. I don't know. I'm not into that. Yeah, exactly. His eyes were gleaming as he made a sweet smile that was in contrast to what came out of his mouth not too long ago. The saccharine smile made me think of what he had said before was all a dream.
이렇게라도 당신을 독점하고 싶은 제 마음을 아가씨는 모르겠죠. 저를 제외한 뱀파이어들이 당신에게 다가갈 때마다 제가 얼마나 필사적으로 참고 있는지를. 손대는 것조차 아까워서 저는 쉽사리 마시지도 못하는 당신의 피가 그들의 목을 적실 때마다 갈증조차 잊어버릴 정도로 맹렬하게 타오르는 이 유치한 질투심을 제가 몇 번이고 억눌렀는지 말입니다.
Charlie? I got choked up from listening to his monologue. No, he just said he's fine killing. Okay, whatever. Not my type doesn't mean it's not other people's types. I have never once heard Charlie's honest feelings like this.
다 아가씨가 절 이렇게 만든 겁니다. 그저 스쳐 지나갈 뿐이었던 린들과의 영예에게 제가 이렇게까지 빠질 거라고 생각하지 못했으니까요. 하지만 당신은 분명 버티지 못하겠죠. 인간은 나약하고 부서지기 쉬운 존재이니 이런 제 마음을 받아주다가는 당신이 망가지게 될 겁니다. 저는
Charlie? I cut him off and revealed my bare shoulder again with the hand I freed while he was distracted. All she does is like open her clothes.
아가씨, 이제까지 제가 말한 건 허투루 들으신 겁니까?
Cute hearts. No, I understood.
그렇게도 일찍 죽고 싶으셨나요?
Drink my blood, Charlie. Charlie's threats weren't going to work on me anymore. I ignored his comment and continued. Do whatever your heart tells you to.
뭐라고요?
If you want me to yourself, do it. If you want my blood, take it.
아가씨,
That's what I want. You said you wanted me, but that goes the same for me as well. Interesting, the confession comes so much earlier compared to the other two routes. Finally, a change. If I'm the only person you've ever felt this way about, I'll gladly die at your hands. Okay? That would prove that I have your entire heart. Charlie's eyes widened as I spoke, and he eventually understood my feelings, and he hugged me from behind.
아무래도 제 육아 방식을 되짚어봐야 할 것 같군요.
Please don't ruin the moment by making us remember that you raised us.
이렇게까지 목숨을 함부로 하라고 가르친 적은 없었던 것 같은데.
You did nothing wrong, Charlie. It's my fault for failing to become an upstanding human being.
그건 아니에요. 자식이
Oh my god,
엇나가는
that's really gross.
부모의 책임이 큰 법이죠.
Well, I guess not for the people who are into it, but what the fuck? I don't want to hear that from my boyfriend or someone I have a crush on. Ooh. Okay, thank God. You're not my parent, Charlie.
그러네요.
Charlie gently pursed his lips against the nape of my neck. The area where his lips brushed past burnt up, spreading the warmth throughout my body.
멋대로 이런 감정을 당신에게 품고 결국에는 죽일지도 모른다는데 무서운 줄을 모르고 모든 걸 제게 맡겨버린 당신이 이토록 사랑스럽게 여겨지는 걸 보니
The long-awaited pain on my nape made me quietly moan. That pain soon turned into pleasure, coursing through my heated body.
드디어 당신의 모든 것을 가지게 되는 순간이 오는군요.
Despite it not being the first time, the sensation of warm liquid rushing out my blood felt new and different. Was it because Charlie, who treated me with the utmost care, was having his way with me?
한 모금 마신 것만으로도 이렇게나 채워지는 기분이 들다니 당신이 얼마나 나를 만족시켜주는 존재인지 이 시간이 영원하기를 간절히 바라게 되는군요.
Oh, Charlie. My body trembled as the tips of my limbs went cold. Charlie stopped for a moment, noticing my twitching, but I strengthened my grip of his hand and told him, "Don't stop. Keep indulging in me as much as you want." Every time his breath grazed my neck, I felt weaker and weaker as my mind started going blank. However, I have never felt this complete. He tightly held his hand as I let go of my consciousness. I knew I woke up at some point, but my body didn't budge, as if I was paralyzed. The headache from the day before was due to overdrinking, and today was being from overdrained of blood. However, I was taken aback by a different fact I had realized. I'm alive? I thought I might die, but it seems that Charlie managed to stop himself at the end.
일어나셨나 보군요.
Charlie. A very raspy voice came out of my mouth, which made it difficult to believe that it was my own. His voice was coming from right next to me, so I barely turned my head to the other side, only to find Charlie lying down in bed, looking at me. Why are you lying here?
기억을 못 하신다니 아쉽군요. 저는 어젯밤 내내 당신 옆에 있었는데요.
What? Really?
그래도 일찍 눈을 떠서 다행입니다. 오늘 하루는 아무것도 하지 말고 그냥 쉬세요. 철분이 많은 음식을 좀 만들어 왔으니 먹을 수 있을 만큼 천천히 드세요.
Meat. Thank you. I could feel some strength coming back to my body as we exchanged a few words. I managed to lift my upper body, and he helped me up the rest of the way.
방문을 잠그지 않아도 다른 곳으로 가버릴까 걱정하지 않아도 되는 게 꽤 마음에 듭니다.
Charlie, are you not calling me my lady anymore?
다시 그렇게 불러드리길 원하시나요?
Honestly, it was concerning how my heart started beating too fast whenever Charlie called my name. But I still wanted him to continue. It made me feel like we became even closer, having crossed the space that we've been keeping between us for so long. No, I want you to call me by my name. Again? Yes, empty sound bites. I loved hearing the same gentle tone of his voice, no matter how many times I asked for him to call my name. I blankly stared at his beautiful silver hair that was shining under the sunlight. What happened last night feels like a dream. I didn't know you had those feelings for me.
그건 곤란하군요.
Oh, whoa, new CG already? Alright, I'm not complaining. Charlie quietly got out of bed, kneeled and took my hand. He kissed my hand and he kissed all the ridges of my fingers. I like this. Okay. It was a familiar, careful touch that was in contrast to when he was drinking my blood last night. However, I could tell it meant something different from before.
저는 어젯밤 일을 거짓말로 끝낼 생각이 없습니다.
Charlie,
이토록 소중한 것을 이제야 손에 넣게 되었으니 다시는 놓치지 않을 겁니다. 설령 당신이 저를 놓치는 한이 있더라도 쫓아가서 이 손을 또 붙잡을 거고요. 피로 맺어진 계약보다 더 진한 강제성을 가지는 것이 있다면
he's so pretty. He took his lips off my hand and looked up at me. I could feel the warm, glowing red eyes that were taking me in.
상호 합의로 맺어진 우리의 인연이겠죠.
Is it?
그렇죠. 당신은 이제 저에게서 평생 벗어날 수 없을 테죠. 말 그대로 당신의 시간이 다하는 날까지요. 아니, 당신의 시간이 다한다 하더라도 존재가 희미해지는 그날까지 저는 당신을 기억하고 사랑할 겁니다.
He's kinda hot. I knew you would like him because he's very, I'll keep you in a cage. Kind of like you liking Mr. Hugeface, so I'm not surprised.
그렇게 영원한 시간을 살아가겠죠.
That sounds too cruel.
그런 건 신경 쓰지 않으셔도 됩니다. 운명을 선택할 때는 반드시 찾아올 테니까요.
I could not understand the meaning of Charlie's mysterious smile. As my heart was working harder than usual, I heard a small knock from outside. My lady, are you here? Have you risen?
루이스가 드디어 녹화하는 습관을 들였군요.
Still?
하지만 지금은 아직 준비가 되지 않았으니 급한 일이 아니라면 조금 있다가 다시 오세요.
Of course. I'll return later.
루이스,
Charlie called Louise right as she was about to leave.
손님이 오신 건 아닌 것 같고 무슨 일인지 먼저 보고만 해주세요.
Ah, it's just a letter.
착신인이 누구죠?
I'm not sure. Nothing's written on it except her ladyship's name. I just brought it in, as I found it in the mailbox this morning.
또 누군가의 장난인가? 위험할지도 모르니 저에게 바로 주세요.
Charlie pondered for a brief moment before he opened the door and received the letter from Louise. Are you going to open it?
확인해야죠.
What if there's a razor blade? Or if it's a strange threat letter like last time?
그럼 확인하고 버리면 되죠.
We don't want you to get hurt.
어차피 이 정도 편지 안에 들어있는 것이라면 별거 아닐 확률이 더 높죠. 다친다 해도 당신의 피를 조금만 마시면 얼마든지 나을 테니 걱정할 필요는 없어요.
I wouldn't normally be too worried, except it's the night of the full moon today. On the day of the full moon, his instincts grew stronger, and he tended to lose control easier. However, oddly enough, his injuries took longer to heal as well. However, my concerns did not stop him from opening the envelope and taking out the letter within.
평범한 편지군요.
What does it say? I couldn't tell if Charlie was excited or shocked from the letter, and I became curious. Letter from hell. My dear Charlie, come find the last piece I left for you. This beautiful night of the full moon, if you come visit me, I will show you my respects in return. Catch me if you can. And? What's that? A small object that was inside the envelope fell onto Charlie's hand. I couldn't tell what it was at first, but Charlie used his other hand to quickly cover my eyes.
보지 않는 게 좋을 것 같군요.
What? Why?
성인 여자의 손톱이거든요.
Yikes. The short memory of the falling object flashed before my eyes, and an indescribable, repulsive feeling filled my throat.
괜찮나요?
Charlie. No words were required for us to both understand that this was a challenge made by the culprit we were so desperately looking for. Whose nail did he pick off this time? There was no way that Charlie was not going to see the culprit even after this letter. And if he went, I was not going to stay behind in this mansion. However, the fact that it was the night of the full moon kept bothering me. Charlie, why don't we tell Aaron or Harvey about this? Since it's the night of the full moon, something bad might happen if you go alone. We should maybe get some help from...
잊어버렸습니까? 그 사람들도 전부 저에게서 태어난 뱀파이어들이라는 것을. 오늘 보름달의 영향을 받는 건 저뿐만이 아닙니다.
You'll be affected the most.
알고 있습니다. 그래서 더 문제죠. 저는 그들에게 제 약점을 스스로 노출할 생각이 없고 도움을 받고 싶다고도 생각하지 않아요. 게다가 진범은 제게 도전장을 보내지 않았습니까? 친애하는 찰리 선생이라면서 친히 제 이름을 언급할 정도니 말이죠.
Probably he'd like it if I say I'm worried about him, right? I did expect him to be stubborn, knowing his personality. So I thought it would be best to tell him my honest feelings, rather than think of more solutions. I'm just worried about you, Charlie.
알고 있습니다. 제가 언제 당신이 원하는 대로 하지 않았던 적이 있나요? 상처 없이 무사히 안전하게 사태를 마무리할 테니 너무 걱정하지 마세요.
That's a death flag. Okay. I couldn't keep pressing it, so I stopped trying to convince him. But it would be okay if I were to ask them to help me, right? Made a note to myself to write a letter for Aaron and Harvey and hide it before leaving. First, I decided to wait until the time to meet. During the brief moment Charlie was absent, I was on my way to the study to hide the letter when...
아가씨.
I heard a familiar voice, only to find Felix, who seemed to have brought the batch of desserts for tomorrow. What have you brought today?
체리 푸딩 케이크.
The fucking cherry pudding cake chases me through each routes, the common routes. It's pissing me off.
아가씨가 시식하실 때까지
My
기다려볼까 했는데 그냥 저택에 납품해버리기로 했어요.
The fucking cherry pudding cake, man.
한 번만 드셔보면 분명 알게 되실 거예요. 이게 얼마나 맛있는 케이크인지.
I see.
사실은 시식용으로 한 조각 더 챙겨가지고 왔는데 지금 한번 드셔보세요.
I wasn't in the mood, but I remember how I turned down his offer multiple times before. I was fine any other time, but for some reason, the cherry pudding cake was the only one I haven't gotten around to try yet. I don't want to reject him another time, so I'll try a bite. With that in mind, I stuck the fork into the piece of cake on the plate he was holding out. Does it have sleeping gas or no, not sleeping gas, I'm stupid. Sleeping pills or something in it? Perhaps just one bite?
당신을 위해서 만든 거니까요.
I took the ripe, bright red cherry and took a bite. It tasted a lot more flavorful than I had expected. My, this is amazing! It's a little tart, but sweet and smooth. Why haven't you sent this one to the estate before?
마음에 들어요?
I do. Please continue sending these to the estate.
그럴게요.
Felix smiled, and I was about to put my fork down after a satisfying meal when... Huh? I lost control of my body, my vision blurred, and my legs gave way. I was about to collapse as Felix very naturally caught me before I hit the ground.
맛있었죠, 아가씨.
Felix? My tongue was numb. The unchanging tone of his voice, despite the shocking situation, was extremely ominous.
앞으로도 제가 계속 대접해드릴게요. 지금까지 그래왔던 것처럼요.
I could instinctively tell why he was here. However, I was so sleepy that I couldn't lift a finger and couldn't keep my eyes open. Charlie. The name failed to leave my mouth, and I lost all consciousness. Wait, thinking, right? Remember the letter? How did Charlie know that's the fingernail of a woman? I don't think girl and guy fingernails look all that different, do they? How the fuck does he know that's a woman's fingernail? That's kind of weird. Anyways, I abruptly woke up, as if I was showered with ice-cold water. What happened? Why was I asleep? Where's Charlie? What happened to the killer? Contrary to my racing thoughts, my body was stiff, and I could barely get my head up to look around.
아, 이제 정신이 들어요?
Felix? I was about to get up, but something was holding me down. Looking around, I found out that I was on a chair, and a tight rope was wrapped around my body, holding me down. What's happening? Having a difficult time understanding the situation, I heard a small groaning sound coming from beside me. Excuse me, are you alright? I saw another girl tied up next to me, whose head was bleeding. Born in a noble house, I've experienced plenty of attempts at kidnapping or ambushes. The attempts occasionally succeeded, and I was actually in danger like I was now. Normally, I would have firmly trusted Charlie to come save me, and for the situation to be resolved quickly. However, it was the night of the full moon. The person who kidnapped me was Felix, and there was another injured hostage. The circumstances were dire. But who is this person? I feel like I've seen her before. I tried my best to match her face to my memory, but nothing came up.
와, 역시 아가씨예요. 이런 상황에도 전혀 놀라지 않으시네요.
Felix, what is the meaning of this? I saw the glint of the silver knife on his hand, and I asked calmly.
아가씨, 있잖아요. 기억나세요? 제가 아직 군가의 태생으로 콜 가문의 시종을 하고 있을 때 린델가에 처음 인사를 하러 갔었죠. 그때 주머니에서 떨어뜨린 스콘을 아가씨가 우연히 주워서 먹어주셨던 그때부터.
Also, adding to it about the scone thing, who the fuck just shoves a scone into their pocket? That's so weird. And for a noble lady to just pick that off the ground and eat it, that's... What is the logic? Come on, man.
저는 당신을 위해서 그 어떤 것이라도 하리라고 결심했어요. 분가 출신이라는 이유만으로 모든 사람이 다 저를 무시했을 때 오직 아가씨만이 제 재능을 인정해줬죠. 그렇게 해서 카페 아모르체를 얻게 됐을 때 얼마나 가슴이 떨렸는지 아가씨는 모르셨을 거예요.
No, I do. I remember how elated you were after acquiring the rights to your shop.
아, 그렇겠네요. 저를 이 자리까지 데려와 주신 분이니까요. 하긴 모를 리가 없죠.
He smiled, reminiscing the past, and continued in a calm tone.
저는 당신이 항상 제 케이크를 먹으며 환하게 웃는 그 순간들이 좋았어요. 그래서 항상 웃게 해주고 싶었죠. 아가씨를 우울하게 만드는 모든 것들은 다 이 세상에서 지워주고 싶었어요.
He became more and more infuriated, as if he was remembering something repulsive.
매일같이 아가씨가 구호물자로 보낸 물건을 팔아다가 술 사는데 썼던 여자. 아가씨가 보낸 음식을 공짜로 받아먹으면서도 맛이 없다고 맨날 투덜거리며 욕하던 여자. 아가씨와 가장 가까운 곳에 있으면서도 당신이 아가씨다운 품위가 전혀 없다면서 부끄러워하던 그 여자까지도.
What?
그리고 이 여자는 아가씨 눈앞에서 당신을 험담하던 바로 그 여자예요. 겁도 없이 바로 제 카페에서 말이에요.
Wait a moment. I finally remembered. Is that the Linder heir? She looks like every other girl out there. The rumors of her beauty must have been a lie. She's here to get scones all by herself? It's obvious her employees don't even work properly. Wasn't it her maid that got murdered recently? Terrifying. With all that terror, how do they even go to work? I pity the people who work under her. It was the day I got scones and biscuits for Aaron, right after Charlie was released. It seemed to have been the woman who was slandering me behind my back. Realizing that, I came to a shocking conclusion. And then, Felix, you killed Mary? No, it can't be.
그 여자는 죽어 마땅했어요. 말이 안 되잖아요. 아가씨는 그 누구보다도 아름다운데. 그거 아세요? 심지어 이 여자는 백작가로 들어가야 하는 고급 밀가루를 빼돌리려고 했어요. 내가 당신을 위해 만들어야 하는 그 케이크에 들어갈 밀가루를 말이에요.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure in Harvey's Shroud, it was like the fourth woman was pocketing the flour, or I might just be crazy. But I keep mentioning this because it differs slightly from each shroud, and I think it's just translation error, perhaps?
정말 악독한 죄질이지 않아요? 이 정도 죄는 대체 어느 정도 벌을 줘야 할지 도저히 감이 잡히지 않아요. 얼굴을 갈기갈기 찢어놓은 후에 내장을 전부 꺼내서 가족들에게 던져줘야 할까요? 아, 살아있는 동안에 심장을 꺼내어 굶주린 개들에게 던져주는 것도 좋겠어요. 그러면 본인이 얼마나 끔찍한 죄를 저지른 건지 죽는 순간까지 참여할 수 있을 테니.
Stop it, Felix. Don't say another word. Every word that came out of his mouth was horrifying, and I couldn't hear any more of it. My head hurt and my eyes were spinning. I feel like I could spill out everything inside my stomach.
하지만 아가씨, 용서해 주세요. 저는 오늘 이기적인 일을 벌이고야 말았어요. 그저 당신이 행복하기만을 바라는 사람이 아니라 저는 질투심에 미쳐 있는 남자였다는 걸 깨달았거든요.
What? Wait, are you the one who sent Charlie that letter? What are you thinking?
곧 알게 될 거예요.
A chill ran down my spine as Felix smiled with eyes full of twisted obsession. Hi, thank you so much. I hope you have a great New Year too. And at that moment, a Morse's door opened.
당신이었군요, 펠릭스 콜.
The vampire that quietly revealed himself was glaring at him with hostile, crimson-red eyes like never before.
너무 늦게 온 거 아니에요? 찰리.
그이 닥치는 게 좋을 거예요. 눈 깜빡할 사이에 죽고 싶지 않다면 오늘의 난 조금 성급할 거고 예민하고 또 폭력적일 수도 있거든요.
He's on his period.
그래요. 그럼 찰리가 지치기 전에 빨리 본론으로 들어가야겠네요.
Completely unfazed by Charlie's intimidating aura, Felix put his knife against my throat with a smile. You would?
당신이 그토록 사랑하는 아가씨를 구하고 싶다면 저 여자를 죽여요.
If he likes us, he wouldn't do that, would he? What? The moment I heard Felix's words, it felt like all the blood was leaving my body. Because
설마 그걸 협박이라고 한 건 아니겠죠?
that was such an easy task for Charlie. Charlie, no, don't. He was instantly about to grab the throat of the woman, and I shouted with everything I had. Don't sacrifice an innocent person so easily. Felix tutted quietly and rushed towards Charlie. Charlie! I thought he avoided it. No, normal Charlie would have definitely been able to avoid it. No. The short moan he let out made me realize that things did not work out in the way he wanted them to.
오랜만에 맛보는군요. 몸을 관통하는 이런 감각.
Charlie, are you okay? How hurt are you?
괜찮습니다. 살짝 스친 것뿐이니까요.
Unlike his words, he looked more and more in pain as time passed. I was one blink away from shedding tears, so I tried to keep my eyes as wide open as I could. Why isn't his injury mending? Charlie grabbed onto his bleeding side, smirked, and looked towards the knife that Felix was holding.
언제부터 눈치채고 있었죠?
역시나 당신 인간이 아니었구나.
Silver knife, maybe?
그런 존재에게는 의도로 만든 것이 치명적이라던데 진짜인가 보네.
Felix waved his knife around and laughed maniacally, seemingly having been aware of Charlie's identity. And Charlie...
정말이지 뱀파이어보다 사람이 더하다니까요.
With an exasperated laugh, closed the distance between him and Felix.
이쯤 되면 그냥 제 손으로 죽여도 괜찮겠죠, 아가씨?
Charlie twisted Felix's arm and made him drop the knife, and before Felix could retaliate, he lifted him up by the neck with immense strength. Felix was struggling and choking, face red, and Charlie just stood there. Charlie's really going to kill him.
죽여. 어차피 당신은
Dude, where's the voice acting? Was that it? I could see the worst case scenario playing in my head as soon as I heard Felix's words. Charlie, put Felix down, now.
왜 그래야 하죠? 이런 짐승만도 못한 놈도 알고 지냈던 사람이라서 그런 겁니까? 동정도 적당히 하시죠. 당신이 자비를 베풀 만한 가치가 있는 존재가 아닙니다.
No, this is all a trap. Even in pain, Felix seemed to be having fun, shouting and spewing blood while laughing. Blood from where? He's getting choked. Am I insane? Did I forget something? The night of the full moon, and the blood that kept running down from his injury that wouldn't heal. Charlie was possessed by his instincts and could not think straight. He did not let go of Felix. Felix was sure to die at this rate. Why am I tied up in a situation like this? I couldn't stay still anymore, so I desperately moved the chair to get closer to Charlie. Charlie! I squirmed and dragged the chair with me, making the chair bang against the ground. And then the chair toppled over to the side, and I fell to the ground. Sorry. Charlie dropped Felix, who was unconscious, and ran over to me. He ripped off the rope that was tying me to the chair, and he freed the woman next to me as well.
죄송합니다. 제가 너무 늦었어.
Oh man, Felix seemed like a cool guy. I didn't pay attention. Yeah, well, depends on your taste. I suppose he can be a cool guy. The blood from his torso was dripping onto the ground, but the first thing that came out of his mouth was an apology. He stumbled for a moment, having lost his strength, and I caught his shoulder before he fell. Charlie, are you alright? You're bleeding so much. I've never seen this before. What do I do? Charlie, what do I do? I didn't want to cry at a time like this, but the tears kept coming up, and I shook my head. I was disappointed and disgusted by how helpless I was, despite having to stay rational given the current events.
말했지 않습니까? 뱀파이어도 무적이 아니라고요.
Quit joking around. Drink my blood, quickly.
그럴 수 없습니다.
What? This isn't the time for that.
오늘 밤은 만월이고 전 지금 큰 상처를 입었죠. 이럴 때 당신의 피를 탐하면 어떻게 될지 본인이 가장 잘 알고 있을 텐데요. 어제도 충분히 겪어봤지 않나요? 저는 절대로 피를 마시지 않을 겁니다.
Then someone else's, if you don't want to drink mine. I'll bring other people for you to drink, or even animals.
그럴 필요 없어요. 저는 당신의 피가 아니면 마시지 않을 겁니다.
You'd rather die and make the girl you love sad, rather than, drink other blood. That's what I'm hearing.
그게 바로
Ah, okay, never mind, my bad.
피의 계약이고요. 일단은
What contract though?
돌아가시죠. 조금 쉬다 보면 괜찮아질 겁니다.
I cannot believe I became upset with Charlie's unending stubbornness. I reached out both my arms to bring his head closer to my neck. I don't care, just start drinking. I know you can control it, like you always have. If I don't trust you, who will? I'm not going anywhere until you drink my blood. I could faintly hear the sound of police whistles from far away, as if they were rushing us. Perhaps this was another part of Felix's plan, or someone's way of sending us a help. Either way was fine. I kept crying and hugging Charlie within the chaos of the cafe. I don't think I like Charlie no more. What did Charlie do to you? The blood, equally red for all creatures. No, it's... Okay, I'm gonna shut up. Was drenching the floor, and I couldn't breathe from the anxiety. Please, just drink my blood. Charlie. I was practically begging at this point, and Charlie let out a quick, quiet laugh. His breath lightly tickled my exposed shoulder.
정말 아가씨를 이길 수가 없군요.
You miss Felix?
당신이 원하신다면 저는 그렇게 할 수밖에 없겠죠.
Oh, now it's okay. Okay, sure. With that statement, I felt a sharp sting on my shoulders. I was swept away by the sensation that was invading my body faster than usual. But I kept my arms around Charlie, even as I closed my eyes.
이래서 제가 당신을 사랑하는 겁니다.
As I was about to lose my consciousness, I felt like I heard Charlie's bittersweet confession for the first time. Ending 1. On the day that the true culprit of the serial murders that shook London was caught, the police were able to come to remorse thanks to Harvey, who rushed after reading the letter I left. Felix was arrested and soon admitted to all the terrible crimes he had committed, but he never confessed to his motives. Aaron, who had returned to the force after the case was resolved, speculated that it was to keep me out of the investigation. He committed a crime that was irreversible, but it made me feel more complicated thinking that it was caused by me. It's nice outside. After that day, Harvey left the mansion, saying how he would return to his place since his ability won't be needed anymore. I was sad to see him go, but Charlie was smiling so whitely as Harvey left the estate, so I couldn't let Harvey stay.
창문을 너무 오래 열어두고 있는 것 같습니다만.
It's alright, the sunlight is quite nice. I'll open it for a little while longer. Charlie and I spent most of our time inside the mansion, quietly letting some time pass. It was for our rest and recovery, but it was also so that the rumors of us being seen at Amours would die down. Didn't the police literally see us? You can't Okay. I've checked all the documents here. Do I have to check all the other ones today?
그럼요. 아직도 멀었습니다.
No matter how much I wanted to rest, there was so much work to be done by the Linders to be better Laker Street. I had to check if there was anything I could do for the starving children on the streets, if there was anything I could do for the women who were walking the streets at night. The world was full of unresolved issues, but people were still trying their best to make ends meet. Hi, welcome!
그래도 한 답을 마무리했으니 잠깐 쉬죠. 나른한 오후니 잠도 깰 겸 페퍼민트 차를 준비했습니다.
Right, thank you. I was reminded of the desserts I used to eat every day during our 3 o'clock tea time. Amours ended up closing, but we could not completely cut ties with the Coles. They've had quite a long relationship with the Linders, and his father came to the mansion, went down on his knees, and begged. Because of Felix, no one would purchase desserts from the Coles, but the remaining family members had to find a way to make money. Even if the rest of London were to ignore them, I couldn't neglect the Coles.
조만간 새로운 디저트를 납품해줄 곳을 찾아봐야겠군요.
Yeah. For a second, I lost control over my fingers, and the cup slid out of my hand and fell on the ground. The cup shattered with a loud noise, and Charlie just quietly picked up the broken pieces, as if he were used to it. I'm sorry.
신경 쓰지 마세요. 어차피 싸구려 컵이었으니까요.
I was told that I was asleep and didn't wake up at all for a few days, probably from being overdrained by Charlie. I can still remember how relieved Charlie looked when I managed to open my eyes. I've overcome several crises, but I've never seen such an expression from Charlie, so it was quite refreshing. Afterwards, I suffered from some odd after effects, but that was becoming more and more stable.
파편을 버리고 오죠.
I let out a small sigh while he went away. Even though the case was solved and we expressed our feelings for one another, Charlie still served me as my butler. I occasionally wondered if that night was just a dream, and the only thing that was confirming that it wasn't was the fact that he no longer called me my lady. Why wasn't he trying to get closer to me? That was the question I was asking myself recently. That night, I lied down after getting ready for bed, and Charlie was there right next to me like it was nothing.
이제 잘까요?
Sure. I carefully moved into his embrace, hugging him with my arms. It's almost 4 a.m. Good night. Yeah, go to bed. Good night. Thank you for watching. Charlie chuckled as if he were interacting with a child and hugged me back. Why is it? I couldn't stop wondering. I thought our relationship developed into something different. Why isn't Charlie doing anything? The frustration that was building up was about to explode, and I unconsciously tightened my squeeze.
아무래도 아가씨가 제 허리를 부동강 내고 싶으신 모양이군요.
Don't call me that.
제가 또 아가씨라고 불렀나요? 이제까지 매일 그렇게 했더니 아직 습관이 덜 고쳐졌나 보네요.
Charlie. Couldn't take it anymore, so I abruptly got up and shot daggers at him. What is this?
뭐가 말이죠? 앞뒤 주어가 없으니 무슨 말씀이신지.
He's teasing us, isn't he? You love me! I shouted without hesitation. Charlie's eye was widened for a second before he regained his composure and smiled.
네, 그렇죠?
Why aren't you doing anything? Do you even see me as a woman? Girl, initiate. What? Fine, I was weak and I was recovering for a while. But now you're sleeping next to me and you're not even drinking my blood, kissing me or... I was speaking without thinking and quickly stopped myself as I realized where he was going. Charlie, with a smile across his face, looked up at me.
다른 거요?
I knew he was asking while fully aware what I meant. I had no intention of explaining. I'm the only heir of Linders. I won't stoop so low as to answer that.
저를 봐요.
I heard Charlie call for me, but I turned my head and lied back down, pretending like I didn't hear him.
단단히 심술이 났나 보네요.
I'm not being grumpy. I'm just...
알겠습니다. 그러니까 이제 날 봐요.
What? Okay. Okay. Surprised by the change in tone, I turned to him, and his face was right in front of mine. His almost transparent, clear skin that was showing between his unbuttoned shirt made me inhale sharply. Girls never seen skin before.
어떤 일도 잊어버린 겁니까?
Noise. I like this. What do you mean?
전 당신을 몇 번이나 죽일 뻔했어요. 그런데도 제게 그 이상을 바란다고요?
I mean, it's technically compensation, no?
아니, 제가 감히 그 이상을 당신에게 바라다니 말도 안 되는 일이죠.
I could tell by his serious expression how much anguish he must have went through. We had so much more time to spend together besides the night of the full moon, so he had to think about the future a lot more carefully. However, as I reached that conclusion, I couldn't help but laugh. You're Charlie. What are you afraid of? He's as wide as the table. What the fuck is this proportion? Shoulder. His shoulder is like twice, 3 times her size? That's crazy. You've been in existence for so long, and you were worried at the thought that you were going to kill me?
그래요. 그렇게나 긴 세월을 살아왔기 때문에 아는 겁니다. 제 목숨보다 소중한 사람 한 명을 잃는 게 얼마나 괴롭고 슬픈 일인지. 만에 하나 당신이 제 저주받은 운명으로 인해 죽게 됐을 때 저는 또 얼마나 긴 시간을 홀로 죄책감에 사로잡혀 살아가게 될지.
That does seem like an issue. I became sad, feeling like the distant future I was trying to avoid thinking about was suddenly right in front of my eyes.
그래서 당신이 제대로 준비가 될 때까지, 그리고 저 자신을 컨트롤할 수 있다고 확신이 들 때까지 기다리려고 했던 겁니다. 당신의 감정에 휘말려서 또다시 그런 일을 겪게 할 수는 없으니까요.
Charlie. What he said made sense. I could understand his point of view, but Charlie, I want you to focus on the present rather than worry about the future. People are weak and fragile, like you said, but we cannot constantly live in fear of what might happen. Our lifespan isn't that long, and today will never come back once it's gone. So I want you to hug me and express how much you love me. So many flowery words just to beg to be fucked. Then it'll make me happy right now, and I'll be able to say that I love you back. Like, yeah, that arm is massive. That's like the size of her torso easily. It seemed as though his anxiety was slightly relieved. Charlie made a gentle smile and continued talking in a loving tone.
그 말도 맞군요. 제가 너무 오랜 시간을 살다 보니 현재를 사는 법을 잊어버리고 있었나 봅니다.
Right?
우리 아가씨는 언제 이렇게 저보다 현명해졌을까요?
Don't you? Don't call me that.
어쩔 수 없는 겁니다. 당신을 아가씨라고 부르던 시간 또한 지금의 우리 관계를 만드는데 빠질 수 없는 것들이니까요.
So quick to act so haughty.
솔직히 말씀드리면 아직은 당신의 피를 마시지 않을 겁니다. 하지만 그 대신 원하는 만큼 제 마음을 전부 다 보여드리죠. 충분하다고 듣고 싶지 않다고 말해도 이제는 소용없습니다. 절 이렇게 만든 건 당신이니까요.
Oh, so it's my fault now?
당연하죠. 그럼 누구 탓이라고 생각하시는 거죠? 제 품 안에 이렇게나 쉽게 파묻히는 당신을 사랑하게 된 것도, 뱀파이어인 제가 흡혈을 참아야만 하는 것도 다 당신 때문입니다.
I really...
피 한 방울 존재하지 않는 제가 당신과 닿을 때마다 미묘한 두근거림을 느끼는 것도.
I really love his expression here. It's so soft. I love it. It's really pretty.
전부 다 당신이 여기 있기 때문인 겁니다.
It almost sounded like complaining, which was a fitting way for Charlie to express his feelings. I couldn't help but laugh out loud. Then, I guess there's no other way. I'll have to take you in and take responsibility.
이미 제 모든 건 당신에게 속해 있었습니다.
With that last comment, he kissed me, as if he were someone who had been parched for a long time. He wasn't drinking my blood, but it almost felt like something was being drained from my body. I could also describe it as my soul being swept away by Charlie. However, that was what I wanted.
오늘 밤 당신과 함께 할 수 있어서 영광입니다. 나의 아가씨.
A sweet scent started mixing with the intense heat in the dark. I wrapped my arms around him as I felt the happiness overwhelm me. Yippee! Okay, now that I've finished all 3 routes, I feel like they definitely... I don't know if it's because they ran out of time or they just didn't bother to cover the plot holes, but there's still so many plot holes, so many like loose ends that I can't say that I'm like completely satisfied with the game. But it's a really fun time, and the guys are cute and the art's pretty. But yeah, song's pretty too. I'll play the ending too.
황혼의
Dude.
유령.
Let's just speed through everything real quick. Eh? Is it this one? Yeah, it is. Harvey said it wouldn't take long, and I had no particular reason to leave him behind. It's alright. I'll wait here.
고마워요.
아가씨, 지금 깨끗하게 무시하신 건가요?
Maybe. No, but he says it won't take long. That won't make a big difference in my outing.
굳이 저자와 같이 가야 한다는 게 마음에 들지 않는군요.
What about the baby? Charlie seemed discontent, but he soon looked away, knowing there was no helping it. Harvey came back out of the mansion and we all made our way to Laker Street. Not interested. His question caught me off guard, and I was drawing blanks, failing to come up with any appropriate response. I knew I had several things I had imagined and dreamed of for myself. What's the point, though? I don't have any plans to get married right now.
저런 아가씨, 지금 분위기 파악이 안 되는 건가요? 제가 그런 대답을 듣고 만족할 거라고 생각하시는 건 아니겠죠?
What are you talking about?
솔직하게 말해봐요.
Charlie called me by my name again, and I felt like my face was about to burst from the intense heat. Wait, his... The sprite is fucked. Apologize and actually... Will it... Oh god, it's not getting fixed. What do I do? Okay. Thank god. I poked Charlie's arm and spoke with the most apologetic expression I could make. I'm sorry, Charlie. I didn't know that the wine was so important.
그렇게 애교 부리셔도 받아주지 않을 겁니다.
I tried actually making my voice higher.
제가 이런 거 하나에 헤헤 웃으면서 넘어가는 사람이 아니라는 것쯤.
Hehe. You wanna hear it again?
제가 이런 거 하나에 헤헤 웃으면서 넘어가는 사람이 아니라는 것쯤 이미 잘 아실 텐데요.
He continued with a disgruntled expression.
이제 와서 사과를 받아봤자 아무 의미 없겠죠.
I think that one sprite is fucked forever because I keep seeing Felix flash by. What he was trying to do. I pondered for a moment and decided to ask what I was most curious about. What was earlier?
무슨 말씀이시죠?
Well, what were you trying to do earlier?
제가 뭘 어떻게 했다는 말씀이신지 모르겠습니다만.
I'll bite him. What? He's playing dumb now? I hadn't expected him to act this way. For a moment I was lost for words. Charlie,
차가 식겠습니다.
See? CG is fucked forever, no! Oh my god, I don't know how to fix this though. Can I save? And then go back to title?
황혼의 유령.
I don't know what to do if it's... Oh wait, no, it's like really fucked. Ah! Okay, good. I can't even focus anymore. I feel the same way. Don't say that. I feel the same way about you.
이제까지 제가 말한 걸 제대로 이해하신 겁니까? 이런 지독한 독점 효과. 아가씨가 제게 가지는 감정이 정말 같을 거라고 생각하시는 건 아니겠죠?
That's rude. You don't know my feelings. Why won't you believe me? While Charlie was distracted. Oh, already done. Now it's the same thing, though. If you want me to yourself, do it. If you want my blood, take it. That's what I want. Honestly, It was slightly awkward because my heart started beating too fast whenever Charlie called my name. I like it, but I'm not used to it yet.
그래도 어쩔 수 없습니다. 저는 아가씨의 명령을 들을 생각이 없으니까요.
His eyes made a charming arc as he smiled like a rascal. I blankly stared at his beautiful silver hair that was shining under the sunlight. Phew. I expected wait, no, actually, I want to see the log a little bit. See, come find the last piece I left for you. Oh, no, I guess no. No, never mind. Sorry, just ignore me. I expected Charlie to say this, given his personality. However, if there was the slightest chance that he could be in danger, I did not want to concede so easily. Still, can't we tell the others? For example, we can tell them to come here 2 hours later, or ask them to call the police in our stead.
그렇게 기다리라고 할 시간에 사태는 이미 끝날 테니 너무 걱정하실 필요 없어요. 저를 못 믿으시는 건 아니겠죠?
Of course I do. Couldn't keep pressing it, so I stopped trying to convince him. But it would be okay if I were to ask them to help me, right? Sorry. Me throwing a tantrum? Don't do this. Let's hand him over to the police and let them take care of the rest, please. And let's just return home. You're bleeding a lot. Charlie dropped Felix, who was unconscious, and ran over to me. Ending 2. A few days had passed. The true culprit of the serial murders that shook London was caught, and the world found peace again. Seasons have changed, but one thing remained the same.
아가씨, 아직 주무시나요?
Oh. She never wakes up. He came into the room, made a gentle smile, and said the same line he always did.
정말이지. 제 교육이 어디서부터 잘못되었던 걸까요? 분명히 이 시간까지 늦잠을 자는 건 안 좋은 버릇이라고 말씀드렸을 텐데요. 언제쯤 제대로 된 어른이 되실런지. 그래요. 오늘 정도는 괜찮겠죠. 어제는 피곤한 하루였으니까요. 그리고 저는 당신의 얼굴을 이렇게 내려다보고 있기만 해도 꽤 재미있습니다. 제 시선을 깨닫고 잠에서 깨는 게 언제쯤일지, 그때의 반응은 어떨지 상상만 해도 즐겁네요.
Sitting next to the bed, he continued talking without an audience.
당신을 독점하고 있으려니 시간이 참 더디게 가는군요. 이상하네요. 저는 분명 셀 수도 없이 많은 날들을 살아왔고 오늘 또한 그저 지나가는 하루에 불과한데 당신이 태어났던 그 순간부터 지금까지는 모든 것들이 아주 선명하게 떠오르는군요.
That's really fucking weird, dude.
그 시간은 아주 빨리 지나갔던 것 같은 느낌이 드는데.
On the bed lay the girl who could not reply to any of his sentences. The moon continued its cycle even after Amorce was gone, but Vera did not open her eyes.
제가 이래서 두려워할 수밖에 없었던 겁니다. 감정을 컨트롤하지 못하고 나약한 인간을 망가뜨렸을 때 제 저주받은 운명으로 인해 당신이 눈을 뜨지 못하게 될까봐.
The voice actor sounds really sad, which makes me feel really bad. The guilt of making her this way dragged him into the pits of hell and back. The endless darkness kept invading, but he held her hand and endured. She wasn't answering, no matter how many times he called out her name. But he had to believe that someday she would wake up.
걱정하실 필요 없습니다, 아가씨. 언제든 준비가 되면 그때 일어나시면 되죠. 저는 영원히 당신의 곁에 있을 테니까요.
But like, that's dumb, right? Because she's still human, so she'll die without eating. So unless you're turning her into a vampire, which in turn makes you unable to feed on her, either you or her will die definitely. So I don't understand. Charlie left a small kiss on the wrist that was flowing with warm blood, unlike his own. It was another night of a beautiful full moon.
황혼의 유령.
Okay! All complete because I did a good job. I like his smile. It's like the uwu face. It's cute. And she's gorgeous here. I think I like this face the most. This is also nice, actually. Okay, he's just handsome, never mind. I just like everything. But yeah, we're all done with everyone. I can't believe that only Aaron got to show his massive boobies. But like, not the others. How come? This is unfair, I think. See, even Harvey is fully clothed. Like, that's so unfair. I do not agree with this. But yeah, that was all for today. Tomorrow I'm going to stream from Madness with Love again. I am actually really excited to go play that game. So yeah, see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye!